Right, good morning. Let's continue. Yesterday we had a little review of the first 25 games of this series, and today I think it's time for us to set off once again. So let's see if we can find the game and continue on our road to better chess. Alright, and the microphone is on, and we are white, and we are going to play some main repertoire stuff, d4. Let's just make sure everything looks like it's working. c6, so this might walk into a Slav after c4. No, okay, this is already something I don't really know. Is this going to go into like a King's Indian kind of thing maybe on that side of the board? Huh. Alright, well, fianchettoing into this now seems a little bit silly. I don't know, there's so many pawns just chilling there. Should we just continue with our knight maybe? And if they go with the knight, we can push and just kind of get this big center situation. That seems reasonable, right? Yeah, I think so. Let's just get a knight up. They have this queen check option on a5, but yeah, so this is looking like it might turn into a King's Indian maybe. I'm guessing, I don't know, but I'm actually going to fianchetto against this. I think if I'm not sure exactly what's going on, a fianchetto always feels pretty safe, so we're just going to get that on the board, and then at least there's no significant confusion. We can just continue. We can just continue. Yeah, expected this to come through. Now we can take, and I guess they would take back. Is this like a King's? Yeah, this is like a King's Indian kind of setup still, I think. I'm expecting that fianchetto. I don't think we. I think we just take, to be. Oh, we just develop, to be honest. If we go here and they push, we can go for it twice and they can defend it. I don't like that so much. If we push and they take, I can take with my queen. The only way for them to push us out is to push c5, which creates a bit of a gap here, so that seems pretty good for us actually. Otherwise we just push directly and do this. I don't know, I don't want to give them this square if I don't have to. e3 also an option. No, they can't push right now. Oh no, we can do here, because if they push they lose it. Alright, so I don't know, I kind of want to play e4 to be honest. And if they take, we just take back. I don't see any immediate problems with the situation. This is a move, this is a move, this is a move, this is probably a move, this is probably a move. I don't like this move. I like this move the most, to be honest. Here, and then take back. But if they don't take, what would they do? Develop? What would we do? Get our knight out? I think maybe it's just e4 and just take back with the queen. There's no immediate problem with that I can see. And in this situation, pushing is a little bit better because we have another pawn defending, but yeah, I'm actually not even a big fan of pushing. I think I might just develop my knight. Do I want to go here and break with f4 maybe? This might be good. If they take back, obviously we can take with the knight. And if they don't, we can play f4 and get a very kind of convincing looking attack going, which has kind of been a theme of ours, to get kind of a triangle of space on the one side of the board and try and push through. Yeah, I don't see any immediate problems with this. the light square bishop isn't open. And we can just castle, they castle, and they can just start to open up if they want to. They still have to develop that light square bishop somewhere, which means the knight has to go. The unfortunate thing is obviously after they take and we take back in some way, both of these squares become available. It's a little bit unfortunate. If we take and they take this way, you know, we can push, and if they take, we take, and then we just play against this dark square bishop. Maybe this is a good idea now, actually. Push, and if they just, because if they jump, we have this pawn defended, no problems. And they eventually might want to play F. Castle, they take. We kind of lose a bit of the center. We have pawns to help push against this, but you know, if they jump here, for instance, this pawn is a bit weak. But then we might do this actually. Alright, let's just go ahead, play some good moves. It's probably still not critical. We could go either way and have a game. You see, they are also setting up kind of the same plan, but we are fianchetted. Oh, okay, now. So now taking obviously comes with the added benefit of getting some pressure down the file. And currently actually they don't have any way to jump that knight to because of that. So if we take what? They take with their knight. Push, they take. We're opening up this diagonal though. It's not a good, not a plan I really like, to be honest. Maybe just bishop out even. H3 to cover this square, or F3. F3 seems a bit silly though. They take. Maybe just here, and after they take, we take this way. And we're coming with E. If they take here, I guess we're probably going to take with our knight, right? Probably going to take with our knight. And then, which way are we trying to break? We can't push here yet because we don't have... Otherwise we're going to trade off our... I'm very unsure what to do here. I mean, we can go trade off the knight and then push. And then just say, like, your break isn't quite that scary. And we are coming at the queen side, I guess. We play against the dark square bishop because it's got these pawns in front of it. Yeah, what I don't know is after this, I'm not so sure exactly how we're actually fighting. So I'm starting to think I should push, to be honest. Otherwise just keep on developing because they don't have a lot of space right now. They jump their knight there. We have to defend this pawn. Then we can kick the knight. They get this square. We can kick this knight again. Alright, let's just keep going. We are with more space. We don't want to trade off too many pieces if we don't have to. Maybe in this position even just F4, because now we have some pressure here depending on what takes where. Okay, opening up the light square bishop. So if I take here now, they have to trade queens. Take back, queen takes. Does that give us anything? We can trade off some more pieces. They cut these squares covered though, which is very frustrating. If I take, they take with their bishop. Well, actually now this move isn't so bad because they've got their knight all the way over there, so that's pretty. And they're obviously coming in here too, so here, and if they come at us we can just pop our queen up and we're going to be breaking here. Otherwise H. H looks good too. Take, take. Queen over. Bishop's gonna come out. No, I don't know. I don't like this taking thing at all, to be honest. Okay, let's just cover this G square. This G4 square. I'm actually borrowing a little bit from some other openings. I'm also using up time, big time. Maybe not so good. Don't want to get into a position where we end up losing because we don't have enough time. I'm liking D5. I'm also liking F4. Even if they take, I think it might not be that bad for us. That pawn is fairly well defended. We just have to get our queen off the back rank now and decide where we want to put it. In this position, it might even be worthwhile considering playing G, especially after D5. Playing G4 so we can get our knight over here. Oh, okay, well, hang on, now they're doing the same, so that's not so good for us. Alright, so this knight has to move for this whole attack to start. And then we can trade off here, unless they just try and push us away first. And then the knight jumps somewhere. Maybe this is the time now. Break again. Open up this way actually. Pressure down the F file. Yo, this looks very spicy now. If they take, we take back this way. Here they push, we have to take obviously. They take with their bishop. I think we're going to take this way. And after they take, we can take this way, and after they take, I'm not sure, but should I just play this first? What am I threatening there? Kind of nothing. I just take a square away and keep them from breaking. But then I have to take back this way. Ah, we're gonna go for it. F4 it is. Critically, this pawn's gonna come under a bit of a pressure. I think we're gonna put our queen on C2. Obviously they can kind of semi-trap our bishop here, but I am expecting to trade it off, so that's not such a big deal. Take with the dark square bishop. Okay, now I can take with my pawn or my knight. My knight's actually not a bad, mad way to take right now, because then I can take with my rook after. Or I can take here and then break here. I don't have enough. Alright, pawn takes feels like the right thing to do, but man, open up my king big time. Knight takes feels kind of okay as well. And then after they take there, maybe this is pawn takes. But then in that case, maybe pawn takes was good the first time, just to do this. Pawn takes, yeah, actually this looks good. The knight's gonna have to run away again. And then our knight can come in. And we still have sufficient protection here. Our queen now just has to make a move in some way. I think the move also at some point might be e-file, e5, maybe even here. Okay, yeah, I'm happy to trade off the dark square bishops. This was not something I wanted to take. Oh, I can do this though. They're going to take here, I'm going to take with my... this pawn, I guess. I want to take once and push though. That was kind of the main plan. Are they going to take with their knight? What's hanging right now? Nothing. Oh, this is hanging, right? Yeah, two attackers. So if I go up, take once, I take with my pawn. Otherwise I defend it, but then I give away all my light squares. Seems really not good. I do want to push, but it's not defended sufficiently. Unless I push and then they take, and then I take, and then they have to take back in some way. This does still feel alright though. I'm going to take once. And this pawn is now getting pretty soft. These squares, I think I have to break. I also think I need to bring my queen out in some direction. Alright, the queen's obviously not taking because you lose your... Alright, so if I do this, where's your knight going? Here? So maybe I have to go over first to cover this square. Otherwise I just get you directly. I hit you again, you have to take there. And then I can come in and do this. That doesn't quite work because I don't have anything else getting in there. So maybe this is the move. Just helping to cover that square. If the queen comes in, I think trading wouldn't be too bad. I have more space. If the knight comes in, I might have to fall back. Otherwise here... Man, this does feel like it was the move I was going to play though. Up. You take, I take. You can check me here and attack my knight as well. Ah, no, this doesn't work. Alright, queen over first. And then up I think is better. Also this move is still a good one, I think. Take. Open up the f-file some more. And importantly, I need to get my queenside knight in. Happy to have them push. Just gives me the space. Opens up my bishop some more. I think this is something they're looking at. Don't really want to drop my light square bishop, but this pawn is undefended. Yeah. If I go over here now, they take, I take back. They take, I take back. I still have this defended. I still have this defended. Yeah, so I actually think I just have to keep on developing here, to be honest. Wait, this is even the move. Take, take. Queen comes in. I can slide sideways. And I can bring my... my rook over. Maybe even now, just take with the rook. Otherwise here, no, but I think this is the move, to be honest. I need to shut out that light square bishop of theirs. The queen can come in here, though. That's dangerous. They have to take, I take. But they take this one first, I guess. Yeah. Yeah, still thinking this is okay. I am down to 1 minute 30. Oh my goodness. I have played myself into an incredibly tricky situation. This knight covers that, which is critical because that queen is the only one that's attacking it right now, but later on maybe the rook will. Yeah, so this my king has to do this one. Now this knight is still hanging, and when you take, I develop my queen. I can push, and actually then when I push your queen can't. Oh, okay, didn't see that coming. Are you trading off? Are you also attacking this? I see. Now I have to go over here. Also double attacking this. Oh no, this move is really nice. Okay, let's see. If I go here, you take this, then I have to drop back. That's not so nice. If I take here, you're still going to take here first, aren't you? So I take, you check, I go back, and you can take my exchange, unfortunately. Yeah, I'm going to drop the exchange here. Otherwise, just attack your queen like this and block the path. You take me, I take you. You have to take, then I take. Then you take, then I take. This, I think, is actually the only move. Blocking the light square bishop. Not ideal. But you have to take my queen now, because your queen's hanging. And it can't go anywhere that's useful. Unless you run away. In which case, I'm coming in. Oh, I actually have a pawn I can take as well, which hits this rook, maybe. Probably not. Oh, that's definitely unexpected. Okay, so I'm losing an exchange here. I take here, you take here. Or I get out of the way, and then you take here, which is terrible for me. Here, you take here again. I have to give up the exchange anyway. That's very unfortunate. Okay, now I can hit you like this. You can check me, I can get out of the way. Or I can try and force a trade, I guess. Yeah, I'm just worse. No attack. I can take out the pawn in front of your king, but it doesn't help. Here. Okay. We're worse, but I don't know. We'll see what we can do. This will be covered. This won't matter so much. This will be covered. This is covered. Alright, at least we have some space. We're obviously threatening mate, so, you know. Also threatening the queen. Yeah. And I can take back this way, actually, which saves my knight, and then your bishop still has to come out somewhere. I'm actually going to do this. Because you were going to take and just isolate a pawn. And in this case, maybe I can do something better. Although what exactly, I'll be honest, I'm not sure. I'm very happy to do this if you let me. But I feel like that's not going to happen. Okay, but options are slim, so we have to protect this e-pawn because we're going to keep the rooks out while we try and make a plan with the knights. This might actually be our move. Here, they go back. Here, they go back. Yeah, I'm actually going to do this, threatening a fork. We also got in range of checking. We're still protecting the one pawn. Okay, but now it's not actually worth it, is it? This one, they come in that way. Alright, let's protect the pawn chain. Get our rook out. Yeah, and we're going to do this, threatening that. Of course they can come in with a check, but we'd be able to run it around, so threatening to get the exchange back. Yeah, I'm happy with this. Threatening there and there. What if I just go up? No, you're coming in here, aren't you? Alright, we're gonna do this. We're threatening some pawns, I guess. We also got that square covered, which is good. Now we really need to get our... Let's hit that rook again. We need to get our own rook into the game. And we're going to have to try and promote this with there's no time on the clock, sadly. We do get a chance here, but I really want to try and get this file if I can. Seems like a silly move, to be honest. What if I go here? Okay. Back again. I want to move this knight, but I need to bring my rook in first, I think. So rook over here is probably our move. And if they bring their rook out, we're going to hit it and we're going to start moving. Oh, they're hitting our backwards pawn. Here and they go here, I guess. I'm gonna give it. I'm gonna give it. Check, they come in. We can hit that rook, we can take this pawn maybe. Oh no, they're gonna be pretending. Okay, but actually, this check might be good enough because now we got the open file. So we can hit this rook and we can try and get in here. Check. You only have this square. Okay, I'm gonna come back. I still have this jump and the push. I also have this, although I don't know where I'm going with that. That seems very unnecessary. Where do I want to go? Maybe here? Still can push as well. And then I can push this one too. And also if I ever move this pawn, I got a fork here now. So we're going to push this one, we're going to push this one. We could even try run our king up here. I also think I want to push this, to be honest. Maybe try and force them to move their g-pawn. Here. I can hit your rook. And then I can hit this pawn. Yeah, this is protected though, it doesn't matter. Up. Can't come over. And after this is protected, I don't actually know how I'm making progress, to be honest. Maybe I have to walk my king in here and take with the king. Still have this jump if they move their g-pawn. I'd be happy to move my king up as well, to be honest. Yeah, now they realize they can't do shit there. Maybe I should go over so I can jump and protect the pawn that way. I think that's the move. Now I jump and I'm hitting the rook and it has to move, and then I can push one more forward. Yeah, happy with this. Gonna move my king up. You can come here, but I've got it covered. But now this fork, well, this fork gives me the exchange back, so that's still not so bad. If you move your king out, I can check you. You have to run backwards. Yeah, I mean, that's the point, right? But now I can move my king over there, which is pretty good for me. Yeah, and now this rook's hanging. And if I ever need to jump my knight away, I've still got squares to jump to. We're running to promotion here. We are running to promotion. This rook has to go back. And then I hit you again. You can't come in there. I'm hitting you again, and then I'm just promoting. So you're gonna give me your... Are you gonna do that? Here, and you take, and then I get a queen. Is there something better here? I can save it, I guess. Can you stop me? I think I should just do it. I think I have to do it. Sack the knight to get a queen. That's definitely better, right? Knight for a queen can't be that bad. Then you get that check, but I can run away to your weak pawns. Seriously? Okay, so if I take, you take back, I'm just up a piece. Okay. Hitting pawns. I'm also gonna pick these up, I guess. If you come at me, I hit you, I guess. If you want to protect this, you can't. You have to run away. And my pawns are not weak, so I will take this one. Thank you very much. So pawn breaks are going to be the name of the game now. We fought back from having an exchange down to having a knight for, what, 2 pawns? So these are your options. Yeah, I see nothing wrong with just taking. I still have this square to run back to. I can still bring my king up to push a rook away again. And my rook is doing just fine, keeping my pawn safe. You might want to bring your own king out now as well, huh? I can check you. Don't think that matters. Now I can get this in. I can also just do this. Where do I wanna... Oh no, but I need to get your other pawns, right? So Yeah. Here, and you're gonna push once or twice. It just doesn't matter that much. Oh, I'm actually just gonna go take the pawns with my king. You can't come here. If you move the one pawn, I take the other. This pawn might be weak depending on where my king is, but maybe my knight can cover. Otherwise, I'll at least be able to get one more passer going. But we are playing on basic increment, because once again that middle game was just so confusing. Okay, but let's focus. We're down one pawn, well, one pawn for a piece. Their knight is still, their king is still doing absolutely nothing. We're just going to walk in and take the pawns, really. They can't stop us, as far as I can see. The only trick is that they might be able to get a check in here to get our pawn, but if we trade this off, we have one more passer. And at that point, their king needs to play. Oh, you're going to try and run these off, aren't you? So if I go here, you take, and you start running your pawns, it's not enough. It's not enough. My rook is definitely sufficient to defend. Even if I have to trade it for the last pawn, I have passes on this side of the board then, so it doesn't work. You can move any pawn, you cannot. Not moving a pawn is probably better, to be honest. Yeah, probably better. You're trying to make it here. You're not in time though. I get out of the way. I can also defend it this way, which is kind of nice. Um, no, I should probably bring my king in. Probably better to bring the king in. Now I can check you away. I can also just check you away like this. I can also just run my b pawn. This knight also defends the c pawn. Now I can hit you here. I don't actually have to do anything, I can just keep on running up. You have to bring your rook around to the bottom, but by then I think the pawn is next to my king. I think this is GG. These guys are too slow, I've got one more defending. I also have this actually, depending on where everything else is in these squares. Yeah. Don't think there's anything to worry about just yet. Still don't think there's anything to worry about just yet. Even just running, I'm faster right now. I guess the point might be that they take eventually, and then it's just, no, there's no way you're fast enough. Oh, I saw there's a message in the chat. Pateros6435 asking me what is my elo and my username. All of this will be revealed at the end of the game as soon as we get out of I actually don't think I have to take either out of the mode we're in now, which I forget what it's called. Zen mode. Yeah, we're just playing in Zen mode right now. So here, and I can just pick up the pawn. And I can block with my rook still, and I'm one more away from promoting here, so what to do? Yeah. Okay. I thought I timed out by accident. Goodness. Okay. I had a bit of a heart attack there. Okay, I was gonna jump my knight over here for a check, and then I could leave the knight to die as well and just promote. I just don't want to help the pawn proceed forward, and I didn't think it was necessary to sack the knight for the rook over here. I thought having the king run towards the knight was better. Even like having it over here. Alright, okay, Patera6435, you're about to get your wish. Oh no, not yet. We're gonna do a little bit of analysis before the engine. Okay. So c6 looks like Caro-Kann. kind of setup, which against d4 is a Slav, and c6, d6 is not a move like an opening that I know. It's probably got a name. I recognize it though from the King's Indian, where people sometimes play d6 is the main normal move, and sometimes instead of breaking with c5 or e5, they just play c6. So I'm assuming that's kind of the structure we're going into here. I could play knight f3, g3, knight c, e4. E4 is probably the most principled because they're just giving me so much space. But anyway, let's get some pieces out. And because I don't know what's happening, I decide to fianchetto because it feels a bit safer. I tend to play fianchetto positions a lot, so or more nowadays. So it's, maybe I see a pattern I kind of know, which I kind of try to do. Alright, knight bd, so yeah, really, really like passive kind of development style. And now they finally break. I wonder if this is called like, I know there's something called like the Black Lion or something, which I feel I remember has like this kind of, this kind of pawn structure in it. I forget why you play c6 in it, to be honest, but I think that point is also that you're just gonna like launch like a kingside attack. But anyway, so yeah, and here we have a big crossroads. We can take, we can push, we can defend, we can ignore, we can defend in another way. I decided to just ignore it. If they take, I'll take with my queen. There's no way they can push me around just yet. And I wanted to keep my e-pawn where it is, and I didn't really know if giving them this square was worthwhile, although afterwards I realized that after I push the knight around, it's just kind of out of the game. It has to go back there. Yeah, so actually d5 was probably fine. We'll check with the engine. More development. We develop knight ge because that keeps that pawn double defended. It also helps us break with f4 if we ever want to. Now I'm borrowing a little bit from the Rossolimo structure we like, where we break with f5. And also a specific King's Indian defense line, which I've played against, where they go a5 and knight, or a6 and knight over here, and they try to push my knight out this side, where you can break with e5 and it's better for white. Anyway, castle, not sure. Yeah, rook e, I thought was specifically for this, but I think that they're actually just doing this kind of setup, so yeah. Okay, I'm just developing. I'm spending so much time though because I'm not sure what exactly is happening. And here I decided that I want to give any of their squares, any of their pieces the g4 square, so I play h3. And there their knight is out. And probably here, yeah, I don't know. Like, I mean, this is the King's Indian defense kind of setup, right? They've got their two knights. Oh, sorry, no, this is a Queen's Gambit declined kind of setup. They've got their two knights over on this side now. They're probably going to move the F knight and then play F and just going to like break open the position. And I decided to play F first. And they take, and here I didn't know how to take, to be honest. Like, what should I take with? I thought the pawn taking is best, but it does end up leaving the h4 square weak, so probably taking with the knight was better. I'm threatening that knight right there. And if they then take with their knight, I can take with my rook if I want to, or I can take with my bishop in that case, or even with the pawn then, I guess. But at least they have one less knight looking at this square here. Yeah, so now they're coming in, and I realize that they've just got too much pressure here. I'm not ready. Kind of made a mistake. Yeah, so here I think I needed to take, because if that case, if they do this, I can, danger levels, attack their queen first, and then win a piece, right? So they can't, they have to trade it all first. And if they then jump, then it doesn't feel quite so scary, to be honest. Oh, hang on, I'm also hitting that square then, yeah. So if I take, they take, I take, then they can't jump anymore because my queen's finally opened up. Yeah, so that actually looks pretty good. Then they might have to play like h6 or something. Alright, so yeah, taking with the pawn probably wasn't best. Too many weaknesses around my king. Not taking here didn't look like it was worth it. I could have moved my queen up, for instance, but I don't know. There's just a lot of stuff happening here. Because if they take, I can take back, and the pawn's defended by my queen. But I don't know if this is the structure I really want. This square is still weak. Yeah, they've got a lot coming, so Yeah, get the queen in. This I thought was a good move until I realized that they can take with check, which I didn't realize originally. So in this case, probably pushing was better. Pushing was probably the move. Blocking that light square bishop, and then if they come here, I can just move out of the way. Oh no, hang on, hang on. I still have to, because it's attacking the square as well. That's a bit unfortunate. But at least the light square bishop isn't part of the equation. But anyway, so I have to sack the exchange. Give up my queen. And here I took back with the knight, because if I take with my king, they're going to take with their bishop. And once I take back, they're coming in. I've got nothing ready, and I've got two isolated pawns. So this definitely I felt was better. They don't have any specifically good squares with their bishop. I don't know if this was best, to be honest, but at least it gave me more activity, felt better. I did see that I've got a fair amount of the squares covered here, so they can come in here, and that's about it. This didn't feel so scary. And yeah, here I think it's just too slow. They should just come in. You know, just put your rook out. I don't know what this was about. This is incorrect. You should be coming in to attack something, or coming in to just defend and double up, and then you can just, you know, trade off everything at the back. So incorrect play by our opponent, but we definitely jumped up the opportunity. Yeah, and the great thing about this check is that you're actually within distance of my king, so you have to move again, and you can't defend your pawn. So I get it, now I have a passer, and it's a protected passer, and I'm also, my spider knight is covering the back rank, so your rooks aren't able to move around so freely. I'm also hitting some pawns. Really nice. And this rook is not protected. Although you could have protected it just with like f6, I guess. I don't know. Alright, here, so hit it. Yeah, so here I think just f6, and then you can still bring your rooks over, and you can like trade off mine, and I don't know. I just don't think what they were doing here was best. They could have repeated if they wanted to, I guess. Yeah, going back there, hitting my backwards pawn, and happy with this decision. Dropping the a pawn to get my rook active. I could have, for instance, like played up first, and then they probably put their rook over here, and then go, and then they take this pawn. I don't know if that's better though. This pawn getting kind of weak. This pawn's also weak, so just have one weakness rather. Get in there. Yeah, and then just defend. Great stuff. So with this now, I have the only open file. You can't get your rook over there. You can't hit my backwards pawns, and I can walk my king in. I can move my knight, and I can push my pawns forward. So I'm really happy with how this position has turned out. Black has definitely misplayed a little bit. Hitting the knight, I was going to move it anyway. Happy where I moved it to as well, because it defends the squares I want to move the pawns to. Hitting this this irrelevant move, there's nothing there. Probably you should be trying to break down my pawns here. Yeah, just great. Now I can move my knight because the rook's defending everything, so I've got this knight jump. They see it, but you know, they're just letting my king walk in now, so that king check was also not helpful. Coming in, and here I was really surprised about this. Why you? I guess that's better. If you take here and I make a queen, and then you check me. Oh, I guess you can't coordinate your rook sufficiently, so my queen rook is just way better. Alright, well anyway, very happy obviously to get the extra piece, and probably here I could have just started running this way, huh? Oh no, hang on, but I needed to put your rook in a position where it needs to leave the 7th rank and the 8th rank. So you need to go here, or like just somewhere else. So great stuff, we get another pawn. Um, Happy to jump back. And now also your rook's on the wrong area because I can't come back. Everything worked out so well for us. Okay, and this is just mopping up. In this case, we probably could have done here as well. I decided I think I should rather get my king active, because if I defend with the pawn, you might walk your king in here. Although I realize now I could have just, you know, won the rook then, so maybe that would have been fine. But just, yeah, king in just gonna guide my pawn forward, and I'm just gonna move. The reason I'm moving my b pawn is because my c pawn is blocked. Also because my c pawn is protected by the knight. So even if you come in here, it doesn't matter. So I'm very happy with that. And no rush to check the king here, right? Yeah, I have this check forever, but I don't need to use it anytime too soon. Even here, like, if you push past, I can just take, right? I can check and take or something. So, yeah, everything kind of wins at this point, I guess. But yeah, I decided to take the pawn instead, and here that resigned. Alright, Patera 6435. Our rating is 2014, and we just got 9 more points. And we are called Flippy Floppy, which is the same as the channel, if you didn't realize. Oh, whoopsie daisy, what am I doing? Okay, alright, time for a bit of engine analysis with the opening book. What's this called? Queen's pawn. C6. C6 is a move. C4, yeah. D5, that's what I expected. That's a Slav. Knight F6, also a move. D6 here. Third biggest, but definitely not. Everyone plays into the Slav here, right? That's kind of what people do. Anyway, this is a game. Anglo-Slav opening. Alright, this is news to me. I don't know it. This is not something I know. Oh, what am I doing? Sorry. Here we go. Yeah, okay, this is not something I know, but cool. Glad we played the best move. E5 directly. Knight F6 slightly better for us. Yeah, we're supposed to play E4, I guess. Knight F3 is fine. G3 looks fine. Bishop G5 looks fine. Oh yeah, because you can't jump here. Bishop F4 even some move. Anyway, we decided to G3. Knight BD. Bishop G2. E5. Okay, and here, Knight F3 seems to be the main one. We did consider it. I wasn't so sure. E3, I didn't want to block in my dark square bishop. E4, what we played. Apparently the worst of the three options. So knight F3, B, bishop, castle, castle, and then E4. So this is transposers kind of, but just a different move order, I guess. So we played E4, and we also didn't play knight F3, we played knight GE. Bishop E, knight GE. Yeah, so we're going for the plan, but apparently the plan isn't good. Knight GE, castle, castle. Okay, we're back into a position where it's okay. What should they have done? Oh no, it just does well. Uh, dismiss. Oh, okay, I have something at 1 o'clock. I gotta remember. Okay, castle, castle. This is the Czech variation of the old Indian defense with knight c3. When did we get that? I didn't even realize. Okay, after knight f6. Alright. I mean, this is not a name I know. a6. a6 actually kind of, yeah, walks a little bit into the line I know from the King's Indian defense, although they've already played e5, which is the best move for black in that, so never mind. Rook e8 is a move, h3 is a move, and here, okay, I'll run this afterwards. Here we kind of went off script. h3 was apparently the move. Okay, but they were going to drop their knight back, which is apparently also not here. Ooh, it's apparently also not a move. d5, we did consider it many times. cx, cx. Yeah, just playing against this dark to bishop, kind of not having any good squares or good scope. Alright, well, we just walked off. Top lead chess, let's see if someone else played this move as well. h3, d5, f4 already. I was looking at it, but thankfully didn't play it here. b3, very good in terms of results, and no one played bishop g5. Alright, so no one... I guess the point is that I'm saying their bishop is bad, so why am I trading it off? So that's probably just me being silly. Let's see, h3 here, knight f8, so this is kind of what we had. King h2, bishop e3, queen c2, knight g is probably similar. Probably here, bishop up, rook ad, a5 looks like a move, e3. Oh wow, okay, this is just so much moving without taking anything. Alright, so we're out of book since like way back. And from here on out, we don't have any book to look at, so let's just run the engine and see. Oh, the opponent is here, GG. Interesting game. Don't know this opening much. And I will quickly copy for them. Stream here with me all kills. Pause. Pause. Alright. Alright. Oh wow. Okay, yeah, we just completely fell off a cliff. Let's see. Equal. Where? Yeah, F4 just terrible. Here is actually better for us. X, X. This was the move. We had to block this bishop quick, early. And when they jump here, what do? Jump, walk it back. You could even just sack it. Yeah, here. Let them take. Oh, yeah, I thought this was like a. Oh, but there's this, obviously. Never mind. Oh, there's nothing there yet. So take here. If I take here, it's not good, yeah? I have to take this one first. Okay, so our plan wasn't terrible, but we had absolutely no idea how to execute this very critical position here. So after queen e1, we're just worse. Queen in was best. Oh yeah, queen in makes a lot of sense. We're just defending everything. Oh, damn it. Okay. Yeah, worse. We're worse. Again, just got to block off that bishop. Okay, we don't, and now we're just much worse. Exchange. Yeah, all just, yeah, taking the wrong way. Everything bad. Yeah, but here our opponent just, like, didn't know what they were doing, clearly. A tough one for them, right? Like, trying to find the right way, because they're still better all the time until they took our a pawn. Then it's equal. Alright. Oh, and then we're worse again, actually. Okay, so this wasn't the right idea. But this felt so right. Okay, yeah, this is just, yeah, now the king is coming in. Okay. Alright, so I guess the endgame situation for our opponent was just a little bit unclear, and we were able to keep our heads and get the win, even though we didn't deserve it based on the opening. So, learnings for next time. Uh, e4 itself is apparently best. Knight bd, if they do the same thing, knight f3, e5 is their move. Bishop e2. I mean, this is basically, this feels like a king's Indian defense. So I'm fine with g3 because that feels like a structure I know. Knight f3 was the move, and if they push, we just jump out of the way, I guess. Yeah, just jump somewhere, hitting the pawn. I didn't want to give them this though. This felt like a good setup for black. You know, they've got a lot of space. I don't, this is apparently very good for. What am I threatening something? Why is this so good? Okay, they develop. We hit. They castle. We take. They take. E3. Why is that so? Oh, okay. I see where this is going. Over, queen up, rook over, bishop a3, queen back. Knight b. Getting into the dark squares. Oh, this is interesting. So the point here is that if they. Oopsie daisy. If they push past, we're actually just going to play on the dark squares. We're going to get into this spot and take their bishop, and then we're going to get our bishop around and say that they've got, you know, their bishop, the remaining bishop for them is on the wrong color. I don't know, I didn't like that. So yeah, they were supposed to take apparently. Obviously I would have taken like this. Bishop out, knight g is what I would have played. Castle, castle, I would have castled. Rook over. I guess. I don't really know what my plan is. I don't really know what my plan is here. Yeah, I guess you're like, threatening the long diagonal. Alright, yeah, knight g, e, castle, castle. And here we just had to play h3. And then the same kind of way, if they did the same kind of plan, top leeches has this. Maybe I would have broken? Oh no, hang on. I was still thinking about putting my bishop out somewhere. Maybe I should have just put my bishop on e3 then. Knight out, queen out, bishop out, rook over, queen over, and then I break. Oh wow, and you don't break back? Don't I just do like this? No, but I open up my queen. What's the best move here? The best move is nothing. The best move is sit around and wait. Okay, equal games. Alright, great to win, but clearly it was more learning than skill into the middle game, although I'm also really happy that given that we went into this completely losing in-game, we had enough wherewithal to kind of make a general plan. Even if it wasn't the best one, we played for opportunities and black gave us some, so great stuff. Alright, gonna call it here. Thank you very much for everyone who watched during or came to watch afterwards. I'm off to go have a chat with someone, and maybe we'll be back later today or again tomorrow with another game. We will continue on the road to better chess. See you next time, and as always, be safe and keep on walking. Bye bye. Walking and improving. I haven't done this in a while. Bye bye.